And it's time for another bunch of beers you can only get in Cedar Rapids. This is going to complete your day trip, friends. We are at Third Base Brewing Company in Cedar Rapids with the Director of Brewing Operations. He had a bunch of highfalutin titles when the cameras weren't rolling. This is Jim Johnston, Director of Brewing Operations. You said there's a bunch of other titles that you have?
Yeah, it could be head brewer, could be janitor, could be plumber.
So these are titles you've given yourself, or?
Yeah.
You mentioned janitor. I mean, 90% of what you do is keeping things clean.
It is.
Yeah,
it
I mean,
is.
that's no joke. So how long have you been brewing beer? Both here and your whole life?
I guess like as a home brewing level, that probably started 10 years ago and then jumped into professional 5 years ago. So it's going on 6 years.
It's crazy what a hobby this home brewing is, where a lot of you guys will get into it and you just won't be satisfied until you're doing it professionally, huh?
Yeah, and now I really don't like home brewing at all.
Right. You don't like, because you do this here, you don't need to take it. It would be weird if we all did what we did for a living at our home.
Yeah.
No, I get that. And plus, I guess you're able to creatively get that, whatever that is, taken care of here at work, right?
Yeah, there's not much need to experiment at home when I have this giant system to work with here.
You do. What's one of the go-tos when people come to Third Base that they have to have?
I mean, one of the top sellers is the Bee's Knees Honey Ale, which is just a nice golden ale with local honey in it, and pretty mild, rather balanced, like a little bit stronger than a lot of your average beers out there. It's about 7%, but...
So it's a honey with 7%
alcohol, yes.
Hang on a second here. I've heard enough about this. I must know more. Guys, I'm going to get to the bottom of this story, and I'm going to get to the bottom of this glass. That is really delicious.
Thank you.
So was that a recipe that you came up with, or was that here when you got here?
It was one of the house recipes that was here when I took over.
I'm going to go on a limb here and guess that you've tweaked it a little bit.
Yes.
They always tweak it when they take over.
Well, we have 5 standard beers that have always been here since '96.
Okay.
And everyone that takes over, I'm sure, tweaks them a little bit, and that is my rendition of the Bee's Knees Honey Ale.
This is a Russian Imperial? No, that's your oatmeal stout.
That's just our oatmeal stout,
So you've got 2 stouts that you make.
Right now, yeah.
Okay, so talk to me about the oatmeal stout. That looks pretty dark and delicious.
Yeah, the oatmeal stout is just your standard oatmeal stout. It's got flaked oats in it, and just roasted barley, black barley, and basically 2-row malt, and then not too hopped up, like usually English Fuggle hops just for bittering, and that's about it. And
you know, you mentioned oats, and being this is Cedar Rapids, have you ever given any thought to using like Quaker oats? Is that something?
Yes, they used to actually use Quaker oats, but now I source my oats from Canada.
Ah, I like that.
Yeah.
So how does that go over in Cedar Rapids?
No, you just don't tell them.
Okay, so the good thing is this show is just only on in the Quad Cities and the internet, so if you're watching this in Cedar Rapids, please have a heart and let's keep this our secret. Now, the beer that you make here is just made here. How many barrels would you say you're making in a year?
Usually about 800.
Okay.
So like 800 barrels in-house is pretty good.
Yeah, no, you guys are going through some beer then.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So people come here for the food, they come here for the beer, they also come here for, true story, Game Show Network is on 24 hours a day, which is another thing that separates, I think, the Third Base folks from many of the other places that we've been. You got Wheel of Fortune going on in the background.
Yes, we do.
And it's like 11 o'clock in the morning, so that's dynamite. You're doing everything right. What kind of music do you listen to when you make the beer?
Usually heavy metal and punk rock, but sometimes NPR.
We get more and more. I'm not kidding you. This is like the 3rd brewer that's mentioned NPR.
I work by myself, so it's fun to have someone talking to you.
So it's All Things Considered, and then it's, Mastodon, or what do you...
Yeah.
Brewers love their Mastodon.
They do.
I don't know what it is. What are you working on right now? What's the next big seasonal that you're working on? Give us a sneak peek behind the curtain, Wizard Man.
The next seasonal that will be out is, it's actually called Worst Case Scenario.
Like that.
It is a collaboration with the local sausage maker at the Sausage Foundry down in the Newbow Market.
Okay.
So we did a Czech dark lager that is currently lagering in oak barrels, and it should be out for St. Joseph's Day.
That's a huge Czech holiday. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
that's my people's day. That's fantastic. So you also have done other collaborations. I know you've got one that you did with Mondo's Reunion Brewery there, right?
Yep.
So the Reunion Brewery, folks, that's called Bumpin' Uglies?
Yes, it is.
Can we say Bumpin' Uglies on late night television? Why is it called Bumpin' Uglies? Is it just you and Reunion, or is there another?
It was just us and Reunion,
Okay.
and we were going to make an ugly pale ale, and jokingly we said like we should call it Bumpin' Uglies, and it went through.
You didn't get it? No red flags were raised
Not
on that
yet.
one.
Not
Okay,
yet.
well.
And the beer's almost gone, so I think we made it.
Now, if they beep that out, we'll know that there's
Yes.
a problem, but there you go. Jim, let's try some more of your beers.
Sounds good.
You know, time and again, people have commented, Jim, that one of the things they really enjoy about the show Brewed is our special effects, and I think I enjoy it better than anyone because magically a flight of beers has appeared through the miracle of television technology. We're each going to try 3 of your best favorite beers here. Which one should we get started with?
Red Rocket Amber to start with.
Red Rocket Amber. Now, is this one that you invented?
The name was there, but the recipe is highly tweaked.
Tweaked.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of a
what did-
mashup of 2 of my favorite beers
Okay.
out there. So.
Which would be?
Alaskan Amber and Bear Republic's Red Rocket, oddly enough.
Ooh, that's got a nice little thing going on at the end there. Wow. That like starts at the front as one kind of beer and finishes as a completely different thing.
Yeah.
It's like I did a little magic trick in my mouth. Up next we have a Doppelbock.
Yes.
Which I don't have to tell you, as we're filming this, it's February and it's 70 degrees. Doppelbock is a great sell when it's cold outside.
Yes.
This is the kind of beer that'll put hair on your chest.
Yes.
Young men and young ladies, hair on your chest. Why a Doppelbock style?
This was actually the anniversary of 20 years of brewing here. So
Okay.
This beer is called Brewing is Still Honest, and it was actually the first beer we brewed last year.
Okay.
And then it lagered in 4 Roses bourbon barrels until about November, and then it was time to put it out there.
lagered in what?
4 Roses bourbon barrels.
Ooh, you did not mention that part before. Okay, well, this is an exciting development.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Holy cats. Guys, this is how long will this Doppelbock be available for?
We're actually down to about the last 15 gallons.
Well, I'm sorry you missed out, friends. Are you gonna make this next year? Tell me yes.
We haven't.
The
gone
answer is
that far
yes,
yet.
Jim.
Yes.
Yes, you're going to
Yes.
make this again. Wow. Guys, for real. Wow. And then finally we have the Devil in Mexico.
Yes.
Which is a Russian Imperial Stout.
Yes. Infused with Mexican chocolate and a little bit of chili pepper.
Ooh, all right. So it's got a little bit of a kick to it.
Not like more so in the flavor than on the heat spectrum, but
Okay.
like, there's a little bit there.
So it's got the Mexican chocolate, or as they say, chocolate. And then the what kind of pepper did you put in there?
I was actually ancho and Aleppo.
Ancho and Aleppo.
Yes.
Thanks, Gary Johnson. Okay, let's Nazdrave, as they say up here. Oh wow! Yeah, no, you're right. You just get a little bit of that flavoring, and then the chocolate at the end there. Oh wow, that's a dessert time treat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's like when they say, "Did you save room for dessert?" If you didn't save room for dessert, tell them that's what you want. Do you guys do desserts here?
We do actually.
And I'm sure they're great. Get this instead. This is what you want. The Devil in Mexico. Wow. Jim, I can't tell you what a pleasure it's been here at Third Base sampling your beers and learning your story. And get these. The other 2 were great too, but for sure, if there's time, and swear on all that's good and holy, you'll make that Doppelbock again next year.
I'll do my best.
Come on, I need a commitment. Jim, thanks again for having
Thank
us
you.
here. This is Third Base Brewing in Cedar Rapids. We'll go back to this one and play with you later. Mary.
Should probably turn off my phone.
You know, we always
It's a good
You know
idea.
what? Let's all set it to airplane mode.
There were a couple games that that I can tell when people have not finished them because they'll continue with something. And it just nobody else notices, but I'm like, I gotta restart a game. It's driving me crazy.
Do you have any idea why they called it third base?
It was actually an ownership group that had several third base restaurants
Oh, okay.
and bars. So
Because, you know, growing up, getting to third base meant something completely different.
yes, and no one can define what third base is.
Right, it is kind of, it
It's
does mean
kind-
different things
it's,
depending on where you grew up. Okay, so maybe that's part of the reason.
Yeah, it is fun to use that at beer festivals.
Sure. There-